Now, let me share with you the next two keys to success, because the next two keys to success are, in essence, the thing that differentiates the thinking of successful people from the thinking of people who aren't so successful. The next key to success is optimism. Be realistic. See what can be. Optimism. Be realistic. See what can be. Do you realize that the pessimist is the most unrealistic person on the planet? Think about this. As a matter of fact, you talk to the most pessimistic person on the planet, they'll say, I'm not being pessimistic, I'm just being... Have you heard that before? I will say that the pessimist is the most unrealistic person on the planet because they see what is and assume it will always be. The optimist sees reality before it arrives. That's the difference between the pessimist and the optimist. The optimist sees reality before it arrives and then creates it. The pessimist assumes what is will always be. I cut the word impossible out of my dictionary. I mean, my office dictionary, because I don't believe in impossible. We don't know what can be. We don't know what incredibly great things are out there. Now you may be looking at me and say, now, Jim, this is a little bit bizarre. I mean, there are some things that are impossible. Well, let me ask you a question. How do you know what's impossible? Let's say I was able to go back to 1850, grab somebody, and bring them to the United States of America in the year 2008. Do you think that they would see some things that were impossible? I mean, first thing they do is I'm sitting here, I'm talking on my cell phone. They say, what are you doing talking to your hand? I say, I'm not talking to my hand, I'm talking to my dad. Wow, he must be small to fit in that thing. No, you don't understand. This bounces my voice across the sky. He's in California, he's got one of these, and we're talking. What are they thinking? Impossible, right? So he says, what do you think? What are you talking to him about? Well, he's coming out here tomorrow. I need to know when. He's flying out here tomorrow from California. I need to know when to pick him up. What are they thinking? Impossible. Because in their mind, air transportation and voices bouncing across the country, across the sky, is impossible. But let me ask you a question. Was air transportation possible in 1850? Was cell phone communication possible in 1850? The answer is absolutely yes. Because what makes cell phone communication and what makes air transportation possible? The laws of physics. And how much of the laws of physics changed since 1850? All these things that they would have said was impossible, we take for granted just as commonplace today. When you realize that, you start thinking, there's no telling what I think is impossible today that may be perfectly possible in the future. We just haven't learned how to. It's just what we need is some optimistic people who will see reality before it arrives.